Alter, and tonight the Indian hockey team is on a winning spree. Yes, after winning the bronze medal in Paris Olympics, India registered their fourth win at the Asian Champions Trophy. Skipper Harmanpreet Singh, he scored a brace as the defending champions beat South Korea 3-1 to register their fourth consecutive win at the ACT 2024 going on in China. Now, the Paris Olympics bronze medalist, India had defeated China 3-0, Japan 5-0 before thrashing last year's runners-up, Malaysia 8-1. Already assured of a semi-final berth, India will play arch rivals Pakistan on Saturday in their last league match in the 16 competition. The top four teams from the league stage will qualify for the semi-finals scheduled on Monday, while the final will be played next Tuesday. India continued their fine form and struck twice early in the first quarter to take a 2-0 lead. Arijit Singh Hundal, who scored a brace against Malaysia, struck the first goal in the 8th minute before Harmanpreet, regarded as one of the world's best drag flickers, converted two penalty corners in the 9th and the 43rd minute. Korea's lone goal was scored by Ji-hoon Yang in the 30th minute from a penalty corner. As has been the case in the tournament so far, the Indians started on an aggressive note, with Arijit handing his side the lead with a brilliant strike after being fed by Sukhjit Singh. A minute later, the promising Rajkumar Pal, who struck a hat-trick against Malaysia on Wednesday, earned a penalty corner for India, and captain Harmanpreet converted the chance with a powerful drag flick. India's reserve goalkeeper Suraj Karkera was impressive under the bar, denying Korea on a few occasions in the second quarter. After an impressive first quarter, the Indians seem to have gone into a shell in the next 15 minutes as Korea dominated the proceedings with continuous forays on the rivals' goal. The Indian defence, though, stood tall until Korea pulled a goal just at the stroke of half-time through Yang, whose effort went into the net after getting a deflection from Manpreet Singh's stick from a penalty corner opportunity. The Koreans secured back-to-back penalty corners in the 35th minute, but India defended bravely. India then secured their second penalty corner 2 minutes later, but wasted the chance. The holders managed to restore their two-goal lead in the 43rd minute when Harmanpreet scored with a powerful low flick to the left of the Korean goalkeeper. At the start of the fourth quarter, Jarmanpreet Singh conceded a penalty corner, but the Indian defence was up to the task. Thereafter, the Indians controlled the proceedings and did not let South Korea create any scoring opportunity. On to cricket, and the fourth day of the one-off test between Afghanistan and New Zealand was also abandoned at the Greater Noida Stadium due to rain on Thursday. Such as the lack of facilities, the match officials decided to call off the match after the first inspection on the morning. The toss was scheduled to take place at 9 a.m., but persistent rain continued to play spoil sport. The stadium, as we've told you earlier, lacks basic facilities like the super soppers and adequate covers to protect the entire field from rain, which now have become mandatory for any international cricket venue. The toss has not been possible for the fourth successive day. The Afghanistan Cricket Board again issued a statement which read, "The fourth day of the only test match between Afghanistan and New Zealand teams is not going to be played due to continued rainfall. The decision about the start of the game tomorrow morning at 8 will be made after the stadium's assessment." Not a single ball has been bowled across 4 days, with the wet outfield preventing any action on the opening 2 days, raising serious questions over the preparedness of the venue to host an international match. Only 7 matches in the history of Test cricket have been abandoned without a ball being bowled. The last time it happened was in the match between New Zealand and India in 1998. Afghanistan are the hosts of the game and had picked the venue due to logistical reasons. It's their 10th match since receiving test status from ICC in 2017. They are playing against New Zealand in the test format for the first time. However, this match is not part of the ICC World Test Championship cycle. New Zealand next fly out to Sri Lanka for a 2-test series before returning to India for 3 tests starting October 16th at Bengaluru. Burj Khalifa in Dubai was lit in the Women's T20 World Cup 2024 colours on Wednesday evening as the International Cricket Council announced the ticket prices for the upcoming major event. With just over 20 days to go for the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2024, the ICC unveiled affordable match tickets starting at only 5 dirhams and free entry for those under 18 years of age. This initiative aims to create a lasting legacy for the tournament being hosted in the UAE. To mark the announcement, ICC released a video of a spectacular laser show on the tournament at the iconic Burj Khalifa. 10 teams divided into 2 groups of 5 will battle it out across 23 matches in 18 days for the coveted Women's T20 World Cup trophy. Each team will face the other 4 teams in their group in a round-robin format, with the top 2 teams from each group advancing to the knockout stages. Group A includes Australia, alongside India, New Zealand, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Group B comprises Bangladesh, England, South Africa, West Indies and Scotland. The tournament, which was moved to the UAE after recent unrest in Bangladesh, will feature 20 league matches. They'll be played across Dubai and Sharjah, starting with Bangladesh taking on Scotland in Sharjah on the 3rd of October. The semi-finalists are scheduled to play on the 17th of October in Dubai and 18th in Sharjah, with the final set to take place in Dubai on the 20th of October. Before the main tournament begins, teams will participate in warm-up matches from September 28th to 1st of October to prepare for the marquee event. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met India's trailblazing Paralympians at his residence on Thursday to congratulate them for their record-smashing haul of 29 medals at the recently concluded Paris Games. In a video shared by the Sports Ministry, the PM can be seen congratulating the medal winners before an interaction with them. Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia and the Paralympic Committee of India head Devendra Jhajria were also present during this interaction. Wheelchair-bound shooter Avni Lekra, who won a second successive Paralympic gold in women's 10-meter air rifle, and visually impaired judoka Kapil Parmar, India's first Paralympic medal winner in the sport, were among those who were seen posing with the PM. Parmar could also be seen getting his medal signed by Narendra Modi. India gave its best ever performance in the Paralympic Games by winning 29 medals, including an unprecedented 7 golds, 9 silvers and 13 bronze medals. The 84-strong contingent surpassed the previous best of 19 medals that was achieved in the Tokyo Games 3 years ago. The stupendous performance included many firsts, such as medals in track event of athletics and a gold in archery through Harvinder Singh. Since returning to the country, the Paralympians have been feted by the government, with Sports Minister Mandavia handing out rupees 75 lakhs to the gold medalists, 50 lakhs to the silver medal winners and 30 lakhs to the athletes who bagged bronze in the Games. Those excelling in mixed team events like armless archer Sheetal Devi, who won a bronze along with Rakesh Kumar, got richer by 22.5 lakh rupees. On to football. Cristiano Ronaldo said his former club, Manchester United, must rebuild everything to compete for the biggest prizes in the football world again. He also lashed out at Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag, who's under pressure after the Red Devils' 8th place finish last season, which has been their worst position in Premier League history. They've also lost 2 of their 3 opening matches at the start of this season. Ronaldo, who had 2 spells at the Old Trafford-based club before leaving for Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr, has questioned Ten Hag's mentality. He said, and I quote, "The coach says they cannot compete to win the Premier League and Champions League. As Manchester United coach, you cannot say that you're not going to fight to win the league or Champions League. Mentally, you can say maybe we don't have that potential, but I cannot say that. You're going to try. You've got to try. I wish for Manchester United to be the best team they can. I love that club. I'm not that kind of guy that forgot the past." In his first 6-year spell at Manchester United, Ronaldo won 3 Premier League titles, the Champions League, 2 League Cups and an FA Cup, as well as the FIFA Club World Cup and Community Shield before moving to Real Madrid in 2009. He returned to the club in August 2021, and during his 2 tenures with United, he scored a total of 145 goals in 346 appearances before moving to Al Nassr in December 2022. Speaking to former United teammate Rio Ferdinand on his podcast, the Portugal forward added that there had been no evolution following former boss Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement in 2013. United have not won a Premier League title since then. Ronaldo added, they, which meant the club owners, need to rebuild everything, in my opinion. It's still one of the best clubs in the world, but they need to change. They understand that this is the only way. This is why they start to change again. The structure of the club, the infrastructure and everything. The owners of the club are investing in the training ground, so I'm happy because things are changing. I believe that the future will be bright. I believe, but they don't depend only on the talents. They have to rebuild from the bottom. If not, they cannot compete. It will be impossible. Meanwhile, higher spendings have also resulted in major losses in the Manchester United accounts. The club reported losses of £113.2 million, around 148 million American dollars in its latest accounts for the year ending on June 30th, 2024. The losses occurred in spite of record revenues of £661.8 million or 866 million American dollars. The Premier League club, which was subject to a partial buyout by British billionaire Jim Ratcliffe this year, said the figures were in part because of increased spending on players. The league's profit and sustainability rules allow clubs to lose a maximum of £105 million, which is 137 million American dollars over 3 years, or face sanctions. Last season, Everton and Nottingham Forest were handed points deductions for breaking those rules. Despite the losses, United said it remained in compliance with the financial rules of both the league and Europe's governing body, the Union of European Football Associations. Profit and sustainability rules are related to more than just net losses, with allowances given for spending in areas such as infrastructure. United has undergone an extensive restructuring program following Ratcliffe's investment of $1.3 billion for a 27.7% stake. New chief executive Omer Berrada was hired from Manchester City, and the storied club has implemented cost-saving initiatives that included staff redundancies of around 250 roles. United made losses of $37.5 million in 22-23 year. $151 million in 2021-22 and $120.5 million in 2020-2021. The latest figures include costs of $62.4 million, primarily related to Ratcliffe's investment. Mikel Arteta has agreed to a new contract with Arsenal to be at the Emirates Stadium until 2027. His earlier deal was scheduled to expire at the end of this season, but the club has extended the contract by 3 years. The development will come as a significant boost to Arsenal ahead of their trip to local rivals Tottenham Hotspurs in fact, the North London derby, which is to take place on Sunday. Arteta has been instrumental in Gunners' rise after replacing Unai Emery as the head coach in 2019 and being promoted as the manager next year. He won the 2020 FA Cup and ensured Arsenal's rise to the 2023 Champions League after 7 years as the club ended the Premier League season in the second position behind Manchester City. Arsenal also finished second behind Manchester City in the Premier League last season. They are fourth after 3 games this season with 2 wins and a draw. In March, the 42-year-old Arteta had secured his 100th Premier League win as the manager, reaching the mark 10 games faster than the former Arsenal boss Arsene Wenger. He took only 7 matches more than Sir Alex Ferguson to cross the landmark. Arteta also led the Gunners as the captain from 2014 to 2016, having ended his on-field career at Arsenal in 2016. Arteta joined City after Guardiola and lifted 2 top-flight titles and 1 League Cup. On to golf now, and Jon Rahm plans to take part in 3 DP World Tour events in the coming weeks to make sure that he's eligible for the Ryder Cup. But the former world number 1 yesterday said that he was unsure whether he will be able to play after refusing to pay their fines. Rahm, who made the switch to Live Golf last year, must play in 4 DP World Tour events with the Olympics counting as one to qualify for the Ryder Cup as an automatic selection or appear for reigning champions Team Europe as one of the captain's picks. As live golf events clashing with the DP World Tour, the 29-year-old is refusing to pay their fines for playing in the Saudi-backed league without being released. Rahm said he plans to play in his home tournament, Spanish Open, later this month. The Alfred Dunhill Links Championship and the Andalusia Masters, but he's still in talks with the DP World Tour. He also said he'd fly back home this month with his wife Kelly Cahill, expecting their third child after overcoming a dark moment with pregnancy. Rahm is in contention to win the Live Golf League individual title this weekend at the Bolingbrook Golf Club in Illinois. The only other player in contention for the title is Joaquin Niemann.
We entered a long time ago. Whether they let me play or not is a different thing. I'm not a big fan of the fines. I think I've been outspoken about that. I don't intend to pay the fines, and we keep trying to have a discussion with them about how we can make this happen. I've said many times, I don't go to the Spanish Open for the glory or anything else. I think it's my duty to Spanish golf to be there. And I also want to play in Soto Grande. So at that point, they would almost be doing not only me, but Spanish golf a disservice by not letting me play. So yeah, that's why we're trying to talk to them and make that happen.
Today, in our special series of interviews with international cricketers, we have South African spinner Imran Tahir. Tahir showed age is just a number when at 37 he became the top-ranked bowler in white ball cricket. As a T20 gun for hire, he's played for more than 50 teams and has had a successful career in franchise cricket. He spoke to my colleague Nishit Malhotra, who asked him about the dominance of T20s and how tilted is it in favor of the batters. This is what he says.
Any T20, T10 game, it's a difficult game for bowler, and especially if you have small boundaries. Actually, I was surprised in one of the game we have even kids boundary, which is I think 45, not more than that. And obviously, as a bowler, I wasn't happy with that. But the thing is, I think you coming back playing in this league as a bowler, it's the same challenge as when you were playing in past, because you're bowling against all the good players, obviously who dominated as a batter world cricket. So it's not easy to bowl against them. So, but yeah, look, it is a challenge, but our skills are there, all the memories are there. You know how to bowl and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good contest, and yeah, I'm loving the challenge.
Well, Imran was also asked about how has the T20 changed approach and mindset of bowlers, in particular for spinners. This is what he said.
Yeah, look, I think you have to adjust, obviously, from Test cricket to one day and one day to T20. It's all totally different. Different planning going into one day cricket and T20. You know, you can't really flight the ball too much in T20 cricket, especially when you're playing on, most of the time, you're playing on hard service and batting paradise. Batsmen's skills are really up. So I just think that, you know, T20 cricket, you have to adjust. Again, it's about the opportunity, confidence from your captain and coach, and then give you the more opportunity, the better bowler you become. And I think that's how you gain experience, and that's what I did as a bowler.
Does he think the classic era of test matches is missing now, those 70s, 80s and 90s when we had some brilliant rivalries like the West Indies, Australia, the Ashes? Does he think that era is a thing of the past in wake of the white ball cricket? This is what he said.
Yeah, I think so, but see, the other thing is that now players have a lot of opportunities which they never had in 70s and 80s, you know, so it's totally different era you in and we are in. So I think it's better for the people who are playing the sport now than it was. You're getting more money, you're getting more opportunities which you never had before, and I think the fitter you are, you're gonna be a better you're going to have a better career. So I think that's what probably most of the players who are playing in all the leagues and playing all the competitions, I think they're trying to be as fit as they can, so they can play, obviously, prolong their careers. Where Test cricket, obviously, you hardly see in a year, but whenever you see, I think there is still good Test cricket going on. When the 4 or 5 top team plays all over the world, no disrespect to the other teams, Test cricket is Test cricket. There is a reason why it's called Test cricket, because it tests your skills. And I had that experience. So I still think it's there, but it's just getting less because obviously there is more white ball cricket around.
Well, he said very rightly, Test cricket is Test cricket, and I can't wait for Test cricket to begin for India. It starts on the 19th, first Test between India and Bangladesh. We'll be covering it here on News9 Live. For now, that's it on the show. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
In the heart of New York, an Indian spectacle unfolds. Step into the world of the Elite Saga, featuring influential Indians who've rocked the globe. From culinary geniuses
This has been nothing less than a dream.
to the wisdom of sages.
And which is why success can never be spelt without you.
Discover the stories behind the stars. Experience the magic behind the scenes. At the first Indian event at the Statue of Liberty. Watch the Elite Saga streaming only on News9 Plus. Download now.
PM Modi is the first ever Indian Prime Minister to visit Ukraine. His visit comes 2 years after around 17,000 Indian students were safely evacuated amidst the Russia-Ukraine war under his leadership. Watch Airlift, the story of how the evacuations unfolded, only on the News9 Plus app.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
A new eye drop could help billions of people aged between 40 and 65 to do away with their reading glasses. The good news is that the miracle eye drop will soon be available in India. Miracle cure for presbyopia. Which eye drop can help millions of Indians do away with reading glasses? News9 Plus decodes. Pressview eye drops developed by Entod Pharmaceuticals R&D Centre in India received the final approval from the Drug Controller General of India on the 3rd of September. Earlier, the Central Drug Standard Control Organization's Subject Expert Committee had recommended the product. Essentially, the drops find a condition called presbyopia. To lend some perspective, it is a major breakthrough achieved by homegrown pharma maker. In the United States, just one drop called Uvity has received the FDA nod to treat age-related blurry vision. What is presbyopia? Well, presbyopia